you remember the movie Space Jam?
If not, then I'll just quickly fill you in on what it was about. The Looney Tunes are captured by a small group of aliens. However, they agree to let them go free if they beat them at a game of basketball with the help of Michael Jordan.
And yes, the movie is as dumb as it sounds.
But there is one particular part of the film that always fascinated me. In order to become a formidable opponent for the Looney Tunes, the aliens steal the talent of 5 NBA stars, leaving them physically incapable of even the basic abilities of playing basketball. They can't shoot, can't dribble, they can't even catch the ball when it's thrown to them. As a result, they obviously can't play for their respective teams anymore, and their lives go completely down the drain.
This is only a small subplot of Space Jam, but I've always thought this could be an interesting thing to make an entire movie about.
Just imagine being someone who is admired and respected by everyone around you because of some incredible talent you have. It's the reason everyone knows you, how you earn a living, maybe even the reason your spouse agreed to marry you. Then one day, for no apparent reason, you find you are incapable of doing what everyone admires you for. Will people want to know you anymore? Would your spouse want to stay with you? What would you try to do about it? I imagine most people would at least try to find out what had gone wrong.
But if things didn't change, you would have to give up eventually and find something else to do with your life.
There is also an episode of My Little Pony which kind of covers this idea. After having their cutie marks swapped around, 5 of the main characters now think that they have different talents, and that this is what they have always done. But then on the day of the episode, they find they just can't do it, no matter what they do. And like the NBA stars, their lives, as well as the lives of the townsfolk, completely falls apart. One slightly puzzling thing about this is they mention at one point that their memories have not been altered, but I think it's pretty clear that they have.
But anyway, my point is that the idea of just suddenly not being able to do something you always thought you were very good at, and having no idea as to why, is a pretty distressing situation to be in.
So here is my idea for a screenplay. Our main character is a world-famous comedian.
I decided on a comedian because I think this idea would work well as a comedy.
But also because I feel comedy is one of the most difficult and most pressurized jobs you can have. There is no formula to what makes a good joke. And when it comes to stand-up, your reviews are instantaneous because you can hear if your audience is laughing or not. So anyway, our main character is loved the world over for his or her incredible comedic timing. They have it all. Married with kids, wealth, many fans, and friends that all greatly respect them. Then one day they find they can't think of any new material. And even the jokes they had previously written, people don't find them funny anymore because of the way they tell them. They continue trying for months to think of new jokes and telling them to people, but no matter what they do, they can't make people laugh. All their gigs have to be cancelled, their agent quits, and without a long-term source of income, their partner has to leave them. Their fans and friends no longer have any respect for them and want nothing to do with them. Without a job, they have to sell their home and find a completely new line of work.
Let me be clear, this isn't the result of the main character having done anything wrong.
They just can't write jokes anymore and are at a loss as to why this is. Even the audience don't know why. I thought about even having them consider suicide, but maybe the idea of a comedian considering suicide could be seen as inappropriate now.
Actually, didn't he play a suicidal man once? That's kind of eerie. Anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Years pass. They manage to get their lives somewhat back on track by moving across the country, finding a fairly well-paid job and living alone. They have a few friends that like them for who they are, and sometimes people recognise them. But as soon as they find that they just can't tell a joke to save their life, they figure they must just be someone that looks like them.
And yes, that is an idea taken right out of Space Jam.
Then one day the main character is chatting with some friends, and they make a witty remark that everyone laughs at. People comment that that's the first time they've ever heard them make a joke. They try telling a few more jokes and they find that people suddenly find them funny again. They begin to start work on a new comedy routine and looking forward to returning to the life they once had. But partway through writing they come to a realization. While they may have been happy when they were successful, it became pretty clear once they stopped being funny that no one really liked them for who they were. They only liked their talent to tell jokes. As soon as that was removed, no one cared about them. However, the friends they have now liked them even when they weren't funny. So ultimately they decide not to pursue a career in comedy, but instead stick with the life they have, and only use their rediscovered talent to tell jokes to entertain their friends.
Now, you may be wondering, what am I actually trying to say with this ending?
Am I saying basketball fans should stop loving LeBron James for his talent as a basketball player and start loving him as a person?
Of course not. Fans like that are different because they don't actually know the person personally.
What I'm trying to say is, While it's okay to embrace what talent you or anyone else you know might have, don't take it for granted. Always ensure that you are friends with people for them, and not for the things they can do.
Or maybe I'm just crazy and I've just pitched the worst screenplay ever written. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
It's over 9,000!